Today we're focusing on our 3D sketchbook. We are using color schemes, triad colors like primary colors or secondary colors, a warm color scheme or a cool color scheme, warm being orange, yellow, red, and then the cool one being blue and green and violet. And we are going to turn our bubble shapes, sheets of paper, into a sketchbook that becomes three-dimensional. So we're using pattern of your color scheme. I'm doing red, blue, yellow, because I'm doing the primary colors. And we will draw on these beautiful pieces of artwork that we made, and we'll leave these ones blank. So we're only going to draw on the bubble ones for now. And it's going to basically have these solid pieces of color are where you are connecting your watercolors. So to fold this, it is kind of weird how it folds up, but it should scrunch back up into a garland. It will be very pretty. We'll hold it together with a string or rubber band. I'll do it on this first. So for your watercolor ones, we are folding over with the hot dog style. My technique is to push it down first before I crease, and I slide the corners around. I start in the middle. Can't believe I'm over-explaining how to fold. And then I go towards one side and then to the other side to make a nice crisp one so the paper doesn't slide around. Again, don't fold with the paper exposed. We're doing the bubbles on top. Then we are going to do another hot dog fold with the bubbles on top. And again, over explaining a fold, I'm trying to get my edges aligned and my corners aligned. And I hold it down with that middle finger first, middle location, spread to the left or to the right. Pretty solid fold. Then we have this nice cross fold in it. We need to flip it over with the blank paper, and then we are folding it into a triangle. So I am aligning those corners until I cannot see them. And I'm going down again, started from the center, worked on one side, then the other. Nice and solid. And we flip it back over, and it will start to bend. If you've ever made origami before, you'll know we're keeping these flat sides, this square there, and then we're tucking in the corners, and you can see how it looks before I squish it together and it turns it into this square again. So we're going to do that, and then we attach them together. So you will be using a glue stick. Your homegirl here forgot her glue stick, so she's just using Elmer's glue. Fun fact, Elmer's glue, it will run a lot, so I usually try to keep it very focused towards the edges with a pretty thin line, and I make an X through that for even distribution. But you will be using a glue stick to put it on there even. Laying this out flat, and I'm going to align these squares up together so it lays down. And I'm going to hold mine here, and you should hold it down too with pressure. Before it solidifies, I'm making sure that all my edges are lined up still very nicely from corner to corner and line to line. And if you have any leakage, try to wipe that off now. The glue stick shouldn't run or anything. So it's a decent amount. Again, I'll show that fold. So I was using blue, red, and then yellow, and then I'm going to find a blue solid sheet of paper. So this one has some patterns on it. You're allowed to use pattern paper. If I want that pattern to show, then I'm folding with the pattern exposed, lining up those corners. I will cut these for you. You will pick which pages you want. These are 6 by 6 inches. Open it up, folding again, starting at the middle, lining up the edges. And then we are flipping it over to have our corners lined up to make this triangle. And before I squish down, I make sure that my edges are lined up so that this little corner, see how that's a derpy right there? I need to slide that over before I solidify it, crisp it up. And there we go. It just goes right back into that shape. And now I need to glue it down. How do I want to glue this down? Am I a dork? trying to figure out how I want that. I want it to be like that, so it can line up, but now my blue's not showing that pattern because this one's two-sided, this one's not. So I would have to have that one folding the other direction. We're learning our mistakes. Because right now that's how it would want to fold in, I think. Yeah, because if I do it like this, and then I try to close them up, we got to be careful with where we put it. It won't close into anything. It'll just get jammed right there. It's a happy accident. We're learning.
I like problems.
Yes, it's fun to watch your teacher make mistakes. Not perfect, but I'm sure some of you will still make that mistake, and I'll still have you for it, if I must. So sometimes the paper that Mrs. Bill cuts is not perfect, but it's pretty dang close. I'm gonna get over that. So if you are using a pattern sheet of paper that's not your bubble blown paper, then we are making sure folded over that pattern. Then I'm flipping it so that pattern is exposed into that triangle. So that was a little tricky. But if you are using the solid tag board paper like this, it doesn't matter which side you fold it onto. And then it should feel like a doofus. There we go. Now it's going in there. I didn't fold it crisp enough. Did I just do the same thing? I wanted it to, oh yeah, I want it to go this way. That's why it wasn't folding easily. So if you're using the pattern paper, you might need to avoid it. So now, when it opens up, those connect here. So when you lay it out solid, you'll see these diamond shapes. Let me go from an aerial perspective. There we go. That's how I want it to be exposed. I want the patterns to be exposed like that. If I were to have it going this way, it would look really sad and dumb. So we're just gluing them all together. Looks like little diamonds overlapping. There we go. We figured it out. You should have 12, what's it called, bubble sheets of paper, and then you should have 12 tag boards. It's not tag board, cardstock. Yeah. Now I am going to be extra and spread my Elmer's glue around. Again, you'll be using glue sticks. I just didn't want that to get all outside the edges. So I'm lining this up to those creased lines that I made, and I'm going to let that dry before I fold it, because if I fold it and the glue's wet, I will have a bad day of art. So this will take some time, but we are going to do sketches on top of the bubble designs, and they'll be very pretty. I hope so. We're going to do a fun sketchbook challenge. And to be continued, we'll have more.